I was making room for the table dancer. Got everything, I got everything. I cannot complain, I cannot. Okay. I want y'all to know, y'all know I usually got my nails done. Don't judge them. They look real bad, okay? But today, I'm a little nervous because you know we talking about something big today. Cheating. Cheaters? No, I'm just playing. So the inspiration for this poll, this chat, all of the above, is I was at the barbershop having a conversation with some niggas last weekend. And it was one of the most ignorant conversations I've ever been a part of. Like, when I left, I knew I had lacked brain cells. I knew that, like, my head hurt. I just was like, I'm not doing this shit again. Like, y'all are fucking stupid. I be concerned about the male brain sometimes. Are y'all okay? Like, anyway, so we talked about a variety of things. One of the main things we discussed was cheating. And, I just got real thrown off because one of the guys, they was like, you know, it was me and like two other girls, and they like, well, what do y'all consider cheating? What's cheating? I'm like, why do we have to? You don't know what cheating is? Like, why do y'all want to teeter the fine line? Y'all be knowing what fucking cheating is. But anyway, I understand cheating can be subjective. So he gave me an example. He's talking about, well, if your man go to Vegas and he fuck a stripper, is that cheating? Is a pig's pussy pink? Like, yeah, that's cheating. No, he don't get a pass. Like, it's not cheating if you ain't never gonna see him again. Like, are you fucking slow? Like, y'all are dumb. Like, cheating is the word cheating, and you know it's cheating because it's something you're not supposed to be doing when you're in a committed relationship with somebody. I don't understand why that's so hard to understand. But anyway, it motivated me to run this poll back because I've done a poll on cheating before in my early like Instagram chat days, and I didn't really do a chat to go along with it. I more so just wrote out my thoughts. But I thought it was important for me to tackle cheating because I don't think a lot of people understand the emotional damage that it does to people. I also think I get confused on like how we got so far gone. Like, our generation has this nasty ass perspective that either you will be cheated on or you are a cheater. And like, we've normalized it. Like, we've normalized side niggas and sad bitches. And it's like, how did we get here? And I think it's just because, like, a lot of y'all must have grew up seeing fucked up relationships in your home life. Your parents seeing your mama get cheated on, or your daddy being the cheater. Like, something went wrong somewhere where we began to think that, like, this shit is okay, or this is what people do in relationships and it's fine, and that people just move on from it. Another thing that really got me in that conversation was, like, they asked me, like, so you ain't never cheated? And I'm like, no. Like, well, you lying. And I'm just like, sir, I don't have shit to prove to you. I'm sorry that I was brought up in healthy relationships where that shit was not normal. And I know how to pick fucking partners. Like, I think what's really fucked up is that when, like, people just project this idea that you either are going to be a cheater or be cheated on, and if it hasn't happened, then it's bound to happen to you. No, keep your messy shit and your unhealthy, toxic habits and patterns and relationships away from over here, because that's not to say that people don't fuck up and that you couldn't, you know, that anybody couldn't find themselves in that situation. However, don't speak that over my life, okay? I've been blessed. If I have been cheated on, I didn't know. Thank you. Like, what you don't know can't really fucking hurt you. So at that point, I just was like, you know, it's something going on. It's something in the water. And I just feel like we need to do a better job of really understanding how fucked up cheating can make things, or make people, like how damaging it is. So I did a poll with my Instagram followers asking a whole bunch of questions about cheating, just so that I could get a true understanding of, like, how people have done it. I asked why they did it. I got a bunch of DMs and messages about the different reasons, you know, why people cheated. And I thought it was important to just kind of put it all together and really just break down the entire concept and talk about, like, why people do it, why we shouldn't do it. So before I get into all of that, I'm going to show you the results. And then we're going to go ahead and get into this, okay? So go ahead and look at these results, and we'll get to it. some of these responses that I got from people on why they cheated, I just can't. So I'm gonna try really hard to keep my therapist cap on and not be biased or judgmental, because I'm still human. Sometimes I can fall into that, especially in such a casual space. But I understand people make mistakes and they grow. So I'm gonna try to keep everything on the straight and narrow and not be judgy, because some of these answers really just took me the fuck out. One thing is, I think people truly just do not understand the implications of cheating and how traumatic it can be for people. Like, I think if you grew up thinking that this is something that everybody does in their relationship, then it probably isn't traumatic for you, as traumatic for you as it is for somebody who grew up in a healthy home, who saw healthy relationships where people were committed to each other and only each other, and all the drama and the mess wasn't there. But I really, again, my therapist kept us on. I really want people to understand that cheating on somebody really damages them. It creates a sense of distrust in them, where it really changes how they look at relationships and how they just look at intimacy and marriage, like just commitment. It changes how they look at commitment. And what else I got here? It fucks with their emotional well-being. Like, if I'm constantly on edge because I'm in a relationship where I feel like that you're bound to do something, how does that relationship thrive? How does it grow? How do two people thrive in a relationship with no trust? They don't. They can't. You know what I mean? It's only a certain amount of time that a relationship will stand when there is no trust. And cheating is one of the easiest ways to completely ruin that. Because this person is saying, hey, I'm all about you. And you're saying, yeah, I'm about you, but sometimes I'm not about you. I'm about her, or I'm about him. So we just really, I really want people to understand, like, we are adults now. And because I got a lot of, when I ask why people cheat, I got a lot of reasons, like, oh, I was stupid, I was young, I was drunk. All of that shit is not a pass. It's not an excuse. It's not a reason. And so I think, like, as a people, we just need to have a better understanding of why you don't do that to people. Why you just leave the relationship, why you don't continue to stay if you're going to continue to want to engage with other people. It's as simple as being single. Like, and I'm going to get into why being single bothers so many people and why they choose to stay in relationships when they want to do single people shit. But that's, again, later on. So, the first thing we're going to get into is, I asked the question about, pretty much, do you consider cheating to be more emotional or physical? And for me, when I said emotional, I meant like, texting somebody, DMing somebody, maybe making inappropriate comments on Instagram or social media, things like that. And then, of course, physical, kissing somebody, having sex with somebody, crossing those physical boundaries. So, I was actually surprised that more people voted that to them cheating is more emotional than it is physical. I had 96 people say that it was emotional, and I had 48 people say that it was physical. So this is what I meant by, for me, I personally think there's a difference between cheating and inappropriate behavior. If you catch your man flirting with another woman via the DMs, he ain't never met up with her, he ain't never, seen her, been out with her, nothing like that. To me, that is inappropriate behavior. This is my definition. This is what I consider cheating. I would consider that being inappropriate. Like, that's some shit we can still nip in the bud. Cheating for me, no coming back. Okay, and I understand that a lot of people may think that, and then they get into a relationship with somebody they really love, and then that may change. However, at this moment, cheating is a boundary for me. It's a deal breaker. It's a non-negotiable. So, for me, anything physical, you're done. Okay? However, I do think that so let's say the emotional carries on. They texting every day. They going out on dates and shit. They ain't fucked. They ain't did nothing physical, but they seeing each other. You know what I mean? They haven't crossed that. That, for some people, can still be considered cheating, because at this point, you're building another relationship. You're not just entertaining the person via the phone or your computer. You're actually giving them your time and spending time with them, which can be a big signifier for a lot of people as far as cheating. I think one of the main things that people shy away from is having a conversation at the beginning of a relationship on what both parties consider inappropriate. You know what I mean? Like, there are some women who do not want you liking other women's pictures when they're provocative. So for them, like, to see you doing that, that's inappropriate. But for niggas, they be like, it's just a picture. I don't understand why you so mad. But ladies, if this is something that you truly just do not like, you need to be communicating that up front. Don't wait until you're in the midst of the relationship and you're catching him like suck this pussy 1917's pictures to be like, don't, why is you liking this bitch picture? She's half naked. You know what I mean? So it's a hard conversation to have, but it's a conversation that people want to have up front. And I think the reason people don't have this conversation is because they think that, like, everybody has the same understanding of what inappropriate is. And by what these men be doing and be trying to justify, they don't. So ladies, I'm telling you, have the conversation on what you think is okay and what you don't think is okay. Because when you get into a relationship, certain things are supposed to change. There are certain things and behaviors and interactions that you're not supposed to be having anymore once you decide that you're committed to somebody. So again, if you flirting, sending hard eyes in the DMs and shit like that, and if you know that's gonna bother you for them to be, publicly leaving comments, hard eye emojis, shit like that, because I done seen niggas get caught up and get in a lot of trouble because they on some bitch page leaving hard eyes under her picture. And for them, I don't understand. I'm here to tell you it's wrong. Because half the time, y'all niggas don't even be gassing y'all own girlfriends up like that, but be on another bitch page. Okay, sorry, had to go there. But yeah, so, if you are entertaining somebody intimately, romantically, and maybe y'all haven't gotten physical, for some people that can still be considered cheating. If you sending nudes to somebody that ain't your motherfucking man or girlfriend, and y'all, even though y'all ain't met up, that can be cheating. You know what I mean? So again, you want to have these conversations with your partner so that way y'all are both on the same page and the person knows what you expect of them. A lot of times relationships get fucked up because the expectations aren't clear. What is it that we have a general understanding of that is and isn't okay? So we want to be clear about that. Being in this social media era, we have to have these conversations because there are too many little loopholes. Like I said, I've seen niggas like blatantly flirt with a bitch via the DMs. Get caught and be like, we was just talking, and then I done had I will go through and circle every place where you went wrong in this conversation that was inappropriate. You know what I mean? So sometimes you gotta break it down and make it very, very clear what's a go, what's not, how far you can go, even with compliments. Like, again, there's no reason why you should be overly complimenting another woman. Sometimes, if you're in a relationship, you just need to keep the shit in your head. You could be thinking, oh, she look real good. She got a fat ass. You know what I mean? All these things. But that doesn't mean you need to sit there and type it and say it to the person. To me, that means you're looking for attention. You're looking for a response from that person, and it's not innocent. So, there's that. The next question was, and I'm going to kind of couple these together because I'm going to break all of this down. So I asked men, have you ever cheated? 53 men said yes. 24 said no. I asked the ladies, have you ever cheated? 60 women said yes. 49 women said no. Now, again, these numbers are going to be higher because I had more women participate than men. So don't think y'all finna, fuck up. And I think women are in a place where they're willing to be more honest about this than some men are. Just saying. But yeah, I had more women participate, so I'm not surprised that the numbers are higher. And then, do we believe that men and women cheat for different reasons? For 148 people said yes. Y'all snapped for participating in this poll. And 32 people said no. So, I think in general, men get a very bad connotation for cheating. And that's just because they are known to be more sexually impulsive and less disciplined. And they fall into temptation a little bit easier than some women do. So I think cheating has gotten attached to men and their behavior much more than it has for women, because one, women know how to do their dirt and keep it cute, keep it silent, keep it nice and covered up, they look smarter. So men be out here real sloppy, you know. And while we here, another thing I think makes a difference is that when women cheat, most of the time, whoever they're cheating with, the man has no problem being a sad nigga. He as long as he getting what he want, he ain't gonna break shit up. He ain't gonna say nothing. He gonna keep it real. He gonna, you know, he's not going to disrupt other areas to make it messy. Now, women on the other hand, if they start feeling like you playing them, their emotions getting involved, and they can one up on your bitch, oh, that's why men be getting caught up more than women, because the women that they cheating with either don't have shit to lose, so they like, why not? You know, you don't want to give me what I'm looking for, or if they felt like they was led into the situation under false pretenses, then they're more likely to be like, you know, I'm finna fuck your whole shit up since you want to play with me, okay? So that's one reason why I feel like women tend to get away with it a little better and more than men do, because a man who getting some pussy on the side and can go on about his business, he ain't gonna say a peep. He happy. He's just glad to be there, okay? But women, once their emotions kind of get involved, they ready to ruin it all, because they like, if I'm mad, everybody gonna be mad. So yeah, men just tend to be more sexually impulsive, and that was proven by some of the answers I got as far as like why men cheated. I got men saying like, I was drunk and stupid, you know, I was just being a dog, I was horny, you know, shit like that. Women, so what I was able to see is women really do cheat just as much as men. They just don't get caught. So, and sometimes women do get caught. That we're gonna go there later, but they just sometimes we ultimately do cheat for different reasons. And that was one thing I did see with this poll, is like there were certain men who were anomalies, where they were like, they had reasons that they cheated that were similar to women. However, most women, they all had kind of like the same gist of why they cheated. So let's talk about some reasons. A lot of people attributed them cheating to just being young and not knowing how to communicate, which is why I asked, like, you know, if you cheated, did you communicate before you cheated on what you was missing from the relationship? So we'll get into that later. But more men said that it was due to lack of sex, and long distance relationships fell under this. And I'm gonna stop right here, because one thing I want people to understand is that certain things aren't for everybody. If you know that you can't go longer, and sometimes you need to test yourself. Men don't do this. If you know you can't go longer than 2 weeks to a month without sex, then that means long distance relationships might not be for you, unless you got the bag to be flying back and forth or flying your partner back and forth. So let's be honest with ourselves and know that, like, hey, I'm a person who has a higher sexual appetite. So long distance wouldn't work for me because I need my pussy in front of me. Let's just be real. Let's be upfront with ourselves and be aware to know that, like, that's the type of sexual appetite I have. And hopefully some of these people who said that they cheated while in long distance relationships, they learn from that. Because that is one of the most common scenarios where people cheat, is because they on one side of the country, the other person on the other side of the country, and they not meeting in the middle, and they going sexually unfulfilled. Some men said they didn't take the relationship seriously, or they just weren't ready to be committed. So I really want people to understand that it is okay to not be in a place where you're looking for commitment or feel like you can be committed. Like, I'm going to talk about this later, but I'm going to talk about it now. I feel like people who cannot be monogamous, they get a bad rap, and that's not okay. It is okay if you can come to terms with the fact that you cannot be monogamous. Monogamy is not the only form of being in a relationship with somebody and having companionship and intimacy. So we need to look in the mirror. If you know that you cannot be monogamous because you've tried over a period of time and every time you fucked it up, that means that you need to look within yourself and say, hey, maybe I can't be in committed relationships, because something on the outside always seems to intrigue me and leads me to cheat. So I just want to make that clear. It is okay to be a person who cannot be monogamous. Own that shit and stop fucking up other people and damaging them in the process because you won't admit that to yourself. Like, own it. Be okay with it. So yeah, not taking a relationship seriously. So again, hope you were young when you did that, because we at this big ass age where if you are not ready to be in a relationship, don't be in a relationship. Don't. I just don't understand why that's so hard. Just don't do it. But actually, a part of me does understand why that's so hard. And we're gonna talk about that later. Being neglected in all areas. Neglect is a huge reason. It was a huge reason for men and women. I saw that word a lot. Just feeling like they are not being taken care of emotionally, physically, and in other ways that somebody would need to in order to be happy in a relationship. I had one man say that he cheated because he had been cheated on, and this was another one that I saw a lot from women. Like, I cheated back, and again, I hope you grew out of that, because this tit for tat is childish. Why? Like, why? Well, you could just leave. Like, nobody deserves to have to sit there and keep playing this little game because y'all can't come to terms with the fact that you really don't want to be with each other. Being drunk and stupid, being young, thinking it's cool to have a lot of women. Again, if you can't be monogamous, it's okay. Own your shit. Oh, also, not feeling like they were enough. And I know for me, and sometimes that it becomes a pride thing and an ego thing, where if a woman is constantly making them feel unappreciated and like they cannot do anything right, they always complaining, you do this wrong, you do that wrong, nagging them constantly, I think that speaks volumes about the relationship. So they start to look for that in other places. Well, this girl, she tell me, how good I make her feel. She tell me she proud of me. Little things like that I feel like women forget that men need to hear in order to also feel emotionally connected and fulfilled by them. Okay, women. Most women said it was because they weren't getting what they needed emotionally. So women do tend to cheat for more emotional reasons than physical reasons, I believe. Again, men are just more driven off the sexual impulse and the lack of discipline. Like, oh, she got a fat ass, I'm drunk, I'm finna go fuck even though I got a girl. But women, they not just gonna meet, I'm not gonna speak for all women. Most women not gonna just see some nigga in the club they think is fine and fuck them because they feel like it. Whereas a man would do that shit. So for women to cheat, it really is because most times they've been asking or looking for something and it has gone unfulfilled. And so that could be in a variety of areas, like emotionally, physically, not getting enough attention. Physically, let me go back to that, because when I did that podcast about the sex toys, one of the main things we spoke about was the fact that a man can be really great in all areas and his sex can be trash, or his dick can be little. I've known many women who they like, he was great, but the dick was just not what I needed it to be, and that's why I cheated. And so I really want people to understand that being fulfilled sexually is just as important as being fulfilled in any other area of a relationship. Do not take that shit for granted, because what happens is when you go so long without getting that big O, having those feels, you know what I mean, sexually, it won't last and you're going to cheat. So don't be like, oh, well, the sex handed bad, especially if the dick is little. If the dick is just too little to just do the job and he not willing to incorporate toys like we talked about in that last video, then that means that you need to really reevaluate if this is a relationship that you want to be in. Because again, sex is one of the main ways that somebody can cheat. And if you just gonna go and fuck somebody else because you're not being fulfilled sexually, that's something that you knew way before you probably did it. So, just being honest. A lot of women said that they cheated to cheat back. We already discussed that. Somebody said not being completely over their ex. So, again, you don't want to be out here just shifting from one relationship to the next because you can't be alone. Let's stop here. I was getting ready to talk about this. Codependency. A lot of y'all cheat because y'all are codependent. And the reason why I say that is because if you struggle being alone, that means that there is something that feels like it constantly needs somebody. You need somebody to be there with you or to give you something. Like, that's why people don't just leave relationships. They're like, that's why I keep asking, why you ain't just leave? They won't leave because they're codependent. They want to have their cake and eat it too. It's one of the most kind of greedy and selfish things that you could do, because a part of you looking like, I don't want this person to be with nobody else, but I don't really want them either. But I don't want to fuck up my secure base. Like, I know I have this person, so I'm scared to start over because I'm comfortable, because of how much time we've been together. Like, all of that shit is irrelevant when you are no longer emotionally or physically connected to that person. So be real about that. Yeah, not being completely over their eggs, getting bored. Boredom is a big one for people. Somebody also said, and this was a woman, being consumed with the thrill of doing something that they knew that they weren't supposed to be doing. So, again, if a woman gets in her mind that you already cheating, she like, well, why not? And then don't let them get attached to that feeling like, ooh, I'm getting over on this nigga. Y'all are sick. I'm sorry. That was a biased comment. But that's what I mean by, like, really being in tune with, like, what is it that you're looking for, and how can you get that feeling, that rush, that adrenaline from somewhere else without hurting somebody. So, in general, people cheat because they feel like there's something that they are not getting from the relationship, or for revenge, which, again, we've already established is kind of a stupid way to move, because, like, you could just leave. So, one girl, she mentioned the fact that, like, she cheated back because she had vocalized that there were certain things that she wasn't getting from the relationship, she wasn't seeing the change, and she needed a reason to break up with the person. Let me tell you this. Any reason that is attached to you being unhappy is enough to break up with somebody. You don't need to cheat on them to give yourself an excuse at all. You don't. Like, the moment you're not happy and you're not getting what you need and that relationship is no longer serving you, that's enough. You don't need shit else. Shit, if you wake up one day and just be like, this ain't it, that is your right, your prerogative. You don't owe. I would hope that you would explain to them how you got there. However, that's your choice. You only got one life to live. So why are y'all living life in these unhealthy, unhappy, toxic ass relationships? Make that make sense. Like, yeah, anyway. A lot of people get consumed with history. Like, oh, we've been together all this time. We've been through so much together. Baby, when that connection is broken, history, time don't mean shit. It means not a thing. So how you need to look at the situation is, I don't want to waste any more time with the wrong person. So let me pack my shit and skedaddle. So that way I can get to a place where I can do whatever the fuck I want without hurting somebody, and I can no longer waste time trying to fix something that is irreparable. Because I think that's sometimes what y'all don't realize is, like, sometimes relationships are too far gone to repair. When you get in that phase where they cheated and you cheating back, it's done. It's over with. You know what I mean? And that's not to say that there are probably people in marriages who haven't come back from shit like that. But it takes a lot of growth and maturity to do some shit like that. But I'm gonna go there later. And again, codependency. Y'all just cannot stand to be alone. So the idea that, like, if I let this person go, then I might be by myself, that's okay. I tell women all the time, the best peace you can grant yourself is learning how to be alone, because then you know that you are choosing to be with somebody not out of loneliness, but because you actually really, really want to be committed to them, and no other reason. That's another reason why people, like, can admit that they stayed in relationships much longer than they know they needed to, because it was something about just leaving that felt too hard. But I promise you, having to deal with cheating or make amends in a relationship after cheating is harder. Okay. So the next question I asked was, to the men, have you ever been cheated on and had proof? And I really wanted to give the men this because I feel like they get a bad rap for being the ones to always cheat. But I wanted them to feel like, I can acknowledge that a woman cheated on me, and that probably hurt. It probably hurt them. And it probably set the tone for how they moved in other relationships. So, ladies, we have to take that into consideration. When y'all out here cheating on these men, y'all fucking them up for the next person. Because men don't recover from relationships like we do. They don't. It takes them. It be a nigga saying, a bitch cheated on him in fucking 8th grade, and he still hurt by the shit and they never let it go. Again, their emotional intelligence isn't where ours is. So when you fuck up a man, you really fuck him up for years to come, and all the women that have to interact with him. So please think about that. If you don't think about him, think about the next woman, okay? So I just wanted to really give a fair image that men get cheated on as well. So the next question I asked was, men, have you ever, I asked men, do you believe you've left your cheating ways behind? And 48 men said yes, 13 men said no. You know, the no's, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you being able to say that you just not there yet, or you're still emotionally damaged. And so if you got in a committed relationship, you might fuck it up by cheating. That's fair. I'd rather you have the awareness to know that than to be faking like you don't and fuck something else. And in addition to this, I feel like, again, because women are a little bit more emotionally intelligent, they tend to learn from why they cheated, whereas some men don't. Like, again, I had a man say, like, shit happens. Baby, I hope you have a better explanation to yourself of why you cheated than shit happens. Because that's not you owning what you're missing or what was going on in that relationship. And you can't grow from that. You can't learn from that by not taking some accountability of at least understanding what drove you to that. Because then you don't learn your lesson. Whereas women, they know, like, okay, yeah, I did that. It was stupid. And I'm glad that there were a lot of men who are able to acknowledge, like, yeah, I wouldn't do it again. It was dumb. So that's another reason why I wanted to ask that question. And another thing is, I really want men to understand that it really is, as much as you feel like you're going to hurt that woman if you break up with her, it really is more hurtful to stay and cheat. Like, they'll get over that. Cheating, you can get over a breakup. Getting over somebody cheating on you takes a lot more work and emotional energy, and it takes a lot from you. Like I said, that general distrust that you walk around. I hear niggas talk about all the time. This was one of the conversations in the barbershop. Women be carrying baggage from their last relationship, thinking that you gonna do the same thing to them. This is what cheating does. It's a cycle. So yes, this is why women are carrying these baggage, because one of your brethren far down the line fucked up and cheated. So now, again, the general sense of distrust for any male, for anybody that they are in a relationship with. You know what I mean? So I always, and let me stop here. When men say that, I really want you to understand that that is a representation that woman hasn't healed yet. So that means that that's probably somebody that you shouldn't get in a relationship with, because they aren't healed yet. Don't sit there and try to beat them over the head because they're carrying around baggage. Encourage them to go heal themselves. Like, that's one of the first things. If I meet a nigga and that man tell me he just got out of a relationship a month ago, 3 months ago, and he's still ranting about, you know, all that shit that bitch did, I can clearly tell that man needs to heal, baby. And I'm not going to have shit to do with you until you work on all of that, because you need to unload that baggage, give it back to her, and get back to you, okay? So that's one thing I really want people to understand. Is like, people not just carrying around baggage for no reason. They carrying it because somebody fucked up. So stop shaming women because, like, they aren't healed. Like, encourage them to go heal themselves instead of, like, you choosing to fuck with them anyway because you just want to get your dick wet, or you just, you know, so intrigued where you can't really see that. That's why the relationship is already starting off on a bad note, because she ain't healed yet. Okay? And ladies, look at yourself. No, if you, again, somebody said they cheated with their ex. If you know that you are not healed, that's a part of that codependency. Y'all just taking fucked up relationship tendencies from one relationship to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, because y'all cannot be alone. Be alone and work on your shit. Work on yourself and look at where you went wrong, where they went wrong, and how you can not do that in the future. Okay? Again, y'all want to have y'all cake and eat it too. You can't. Men are more easily tempted. So for them, that means what you have to do, I'm telling y'all, men, y'all have to set better boundaries. Because the thing is, men, y'all think that, like, entertaining or being, again, when I refer to that inappropriate behavior, y'all think that y'all can do that and then it not lead somewhere. But for a lot of men, that's like taking off a piece of a candy wrapper and not eating it. I hope that analogy made sense. Like, a lot of y'all not going to just stop at taking off the candy wrapper. You're going to want to go take a bite. So that means for you, you have to practice having better discipline. That means if a bitch come flirting with you, don't acknowledge it. Shut that shit down. Don't entertain it, because more than likely you may be tempted one day, your girl make you mad, because that'd be the first thing. I think I'd have told y'all a story about that before. Y'all get into an argument, you go out with your boys, and all of a sudden you smell another pussy around you. You ain't never smelled it before, but because you upset, you more inclined to do some shit that you know damn well you ain't supposed to be doing, because you and your girl gonna get right back. So yeah, that's why women trip about little shit like you liking somebody, you liking a naked bitch picture, or you sending hard ass and shit like that, because they know that a lot of y'all don't have good boundaries and y'all are not disciplined. So they know that can just be the beginning. Y'all can say, well, I ain't never gonna see that girl up. Today you didn't. That don't mean if you keep it up 2 months from now, you ain't gonna be buying her a plane ticket or going to meet up with that bitch to have a drink. Little shit like that. Like, it leads to bigger stuff. So that's why I want you all to stop downplaying the whole, flirting through social media, or it was just a comment. No. For some of y'all, it's not. For some of y'all, it is ripping off the piece of the candy bar that you know damn well you can't have. And again, eventually your ass gonna want to bite. So the next question I asked was, ladies, do you believe that all men cheat? 30 women said yes. 81 women said no. And then I asked, do you believe if you're once a cheater, then you're always a cheater? 32 women said yes. 77 women said no. And one of the reasons I wanted to ask this is because I feel like, because so many women have been damaged, they really do walk around feeling like all men cheat. They really do walk around feeling like, well, if I'm going to be with a man and he may cheat on me, I might as well be with a rich one getting cheated on in a mansion. Like, they have those frame of thoughts. And I really want to demonstrate, like, me personally, I don't think all men cheat. And that's really just because my own personal thing is, like, I really cannot see my father cheating on my mother. Y'all, if y'all watch my video with my parents in it, they've been married for over 25 years. And my dad says he's never really had asked for nobody else. Like, when he made the commitment to be with her, he made that commitment. So I can't think of niggas like my daddy, Obama. Obama ain't out here cheating on Michelle. So it be them, the 2% of niggas who don't cheat, which is why I say I don't think that all men cheat. I do feel like some women, again, they walk around feeling like, if you cheated once, you'll cheat again. If I meet a man and he tell me he's cheated before, the first thing I want to know is, I'm not going to necessarily hold that against him, but I'm going to want to ask very important questions. Why? What did you learn from doing that? How old were you when you did it? You know what I mean? Like, what did you communicate your needs? What expectations weren't being met? Because if you haven't thought about all of that, there is a very strong likelihood that you're going to cheat again. And you ain't going to cheat on me. So these are things I need to know. But like I said, niggas be so quick to be talking about, y'all want to punish us for what the next nigga did, or what I did with another bitch. Because patterns, habits, and if you don't learn from certain patterns or habits, you're going to repeat them. You're going to be a repeat offender, okay? We can look at the statistics for niggas that get locked up and reoffend. And it's a high-ass number because, again, they aren't doing the work, the introspect, to look at why they're doing that. I personally think that men who either get married young or are in relationships young tend to cheat automatically. And that's only because, and from what I've seen, is that, and this is for men and women, if you don't give yourself the opportunity to have a quote-unquote whole phase, to be single, to do whatever you want, with whoever you want, whenever you want, at your own leisure, without answering to anybody, it is bound to catch up with you. I'll give you an example. My brother, I think my brother's codependent. I've told him this because ever since he was young, he always wanted to be in relationships. He did not like being alone or just dating and being single. And that caught up with him. Even when he went to college, I told him, you need to be single. You need to go fight. Get it all out your system. Because when people don't get that out their system, then they always feel like they're missing out on something. They don't realize that it ain't shit out there. It ain't shit out there. So when you got somebody solid, to stay down with them and not fuck them over like that. But when you don't have that experience, then you're always wondering, what if? what else is out there. That curiosity, it kills the motherfucking cat. Okay? I know when I was in a relationship, when I was transitioning from high school to college, that was a thought that I always had. You know, when you young and in love, you think, we gonna get married and be with this person. But in the back of my mind, I was always like, damn, like, this gonna be the only dick I ever have. And that part was like, ooh, like, am I ready for that? Am I ready to just never, like, deal with another nigga again at this young of an age? No, I wasn't. So thank God, like, I came to that conclusion. But I think when you don't have that opportunity to thought, it catches up with you, because then you always just sitting here wondering what else is out there. And I think when you don't have that, you sit and you wonder, like, you don't really know if you're ready for such seriousness. You don't know if you're ready to be committed to somebody, even just in relationships or in marriage. I had a client, and I really respected her. She got married when she was young. It was an older lady. Got married when she was young, like 18, and she's been married for 40 years. But in that 40 years, she's cheated multiple times. And a part of that is because at 18, you ain't really got to experience life. You ain't got to experience different dicks. You ain't got to sit on different niggas' faces. Like, you ain't had the luxury of just being out here and just being free sexually. You know? So like I said, that shit catches up to you, because then you always just looking to see what else. Even just, and sometimes it's not even sexually. It's just connecting with different people, having different forms of companionship that you don't get to have when you commit so young. Like, you don't know if you truly ready. But when you done thotted your ass out, that's a bad way to put it. But when you done dated, had multiple sexual experiences, when you meet somebody and you truly connect with them, you know a little better. Like, this is it. I don't want shit else. Because I done seen what else is out there. And there's maybe nothing else out there for me. So, I'm ready. Okay. I do think that some men learn from their mistakes. I think they understand and see the hurt that they cause, and they know that, like, it's not worth it. So, next question was, ladies, if you got cheated on, did you stay? 66 women said yes. 33 women said no. And I feel like this was important to ask because accountability. Men, y'all always telling me women ain't being held accountable or holding themselves accountable. This is the moment of accountability. I think that a lot of women think that they have what it takes to rebuild a relationship after cheating. And the honest to God truth is, they don't. They don't. And that's because it really takes a lot of maturity, a lot of counseling and therapy, and dedication to move past cheating in a relationship. If you take a person back, you are committed. You are committing to forgiving them and moving forward. You cannot, because we talked about this in the barbershop, and one of the guys was like, no, that means that you're giving them a second chance. And that means you're making the decision to forgive them. Why would you give somebody a second chance to not forgive them? That doesn't make sense. And I want people to know, one of the main things that fucks up a relationship after cheating is if you stay, and I'm going to use the woman-man scenario, like a woman being the one getting cheated on. Ladies, if you stay with a man after he cheats on you and you've made the decision to forgive him and move forward, that means that you cannot punish him every damn day of the rest of the relationship for him cheating. It's a waste of time. It's unproductive. Like, you made the decision to be with the person because you still wanted to be with them and move forward in a relationship and repair it. But you cannot repair a relationship if you're constantly hanging this shit over this man's head when you made the decision to get back with him. So it's not fair. I had to tell my little brother that because, like I said, he cheated. The little girl was doing all this hoopling and hollering like she wasn't going to deal with it. They got back together. Every time he interacted with another person on social media, another woman, it could be as innocent. She was on his line. What are you doing? Why are you talking to her? I told him, I said, and he was dealing with it, but it was hurting him. And he was like, I'm doing everything that I can to rebuild the trust and to earn that back. And I just don't know what else she wants from me. And I had to tell him that when you make a mistake, and that person decides to be with you and forgive you, that doesn't give them permission to punish you. And that's exactly what she was doing. That's emotional abuse. I want y'all to realize that. So I'll need women to be honest with themselves about if they can move forward from cheating, because sometimes you just can't, no matter how much you love the person. And a part of this is being aware of what your deal breakers are and your boundaries, your non-negotiables. If one of the definitions of boundary is the physical or emotional limit or line that you will not let somebody cross. So we teach people how to treat us. And if you decide to forgive somebody and stay with them after they cheat on you, and you tell them, if you cheat on me again, we're through, and they cheat on you again and you stay, what have you just taught them? You've just taught them that you don't even respect your own boundaries. So why should they? That's what they're taking from that. Like, well, I did it and she stayed, so that means I could probably get away with doing it again because she ain't going nowhere. That be these niggas' problems. They think y'all not going nowhere, and sometimes y'all don't be going nowhere, and they don't learn their lesson. They don't have to lose the one good thing they had in their life to see that you don't fuck with people like that, because y'all are allowing it. So all I'm going to say is it's nothing wrong with deciding to be with a man, or to decide, because that's one thing I didn't add because I felt like niggas was going to lie. But I did have a man admit to say that he stayed in a relationship after he was cheated on. And the same rules apply. Don't think that this is something you can get through and then you're going to be like, well, I'm going to just cheat back. No, that's counterproductive. Leave. Like, be honest with yourself. Get to a point, because like I said, initially people think that they can get over that shit, and sometimes you just can't. Like I said, I know for me, trust is such a big thing. I don't like sitting here, like, I ain't never really been the type to look through no nigga phone. I don't want to be in a relationship that pushes, that there's this trust that exists that pushes me to want to do some shit like that. I don't want to have to be wondering what the fuck you doing when you not answering your phone or when you don't come home at a certain time. No, thank you. Having no trust in a relationship, it is so stressful. It is so stressful, and it weighs on you. I don't have time to be feeling so anxious because I want to know what you're doing all the time because I can't trust you. No, thank you. Okay, the next question was, for everybody, did they communicate their missing wants and needs before cheating? 69 people said yes. 49 people said no. Communication and openness in a relationship is vital. It is so integral to having a successful partnership. And that doesn't mean that shit is always going to be peachy. What it means is that whatever I feel like I'm missing in any capacity, I can communicate to you, and I can be confident in knowing that you're going to hear me out and understand me. That's what's missing from a lot of these relationships. Like, if you sit here and know damn well that you're missing something and you won't communicate it because you're scared of hurting the other person's feelings or their reaction. That's why, ladies, sometimes these men don't want to tell y'all shit because y'all blow off the handle. Y'all won't sit and listen to them and hear them. And then they don't want to deal with it. So if you want your man to feel like he can be open with you, that means giving him the space, the safe space, to know that he can, and that you're not going to blow a gasket because you hear something you don't like. If men felt that way, they would be much more open about where they stood. I know for me, I feel like I really need to, I want to be I want my relationship to be so open where if you thinking about cheating, we can have that conversation. What is it that you feel like you're missing? Like, if you even entertaining another bitch on some inappropriate shit, what are you getting from her? You know what I mean? What is it that you feel like is that you're not getting from me? You know what I mean? We need to be able to have that conversation, because if you truly love me and I truly love you, then we should be able to get to the bottom of that and fix it. Not sit here and act like it's not happening, or try to avoid it, or try to see, okay, maybe it'll pass. No, we need to sit down and talk about this and be open to hearing what each other has to say. If you tell a person what you're missing and they don't make any types of improvements or try to change or try to do what you need to do, that means the relationship is done. That means that it's not serving you no more, and that it's time for you to walk away. Because, again, y'all supposed to be together because y'all want to fulfill each other in different areas. Now, you can't be everything to a person. Nobody can be everything all the time to their partner. That's it just doesn't. You can't do that. But what I do want people to understand is that when you're in a relationship, you're making the commitment to want to see your partner happy, and that means hearing them out when they say this will make me happy. Does that mean you fall for goofy shit for the sake of appeasing them? No. But that means you take that type of shit seriously, because again, that's how cheating happens. One of the questions that I forgot to ask was, if you've ever been the person that somebody in a relationship cheated with. And I think that that's an important question, because it adds to the whole idea, this general distrust that we have as people. I done fucked with somebody when they was in a relationship. I see how motherfuckers act in relationships. They not faithful. So either A, I don't want to never be in one, or B, if I do get in one, I'm going to always be thinking about what other motherfuckers was doing with me when they was in relationships. Oh, no. So counterproductive. And what we need to remember is when you cheat with people who are in relationships, that shit is bad karma, y'all. I know some people don't believe in that, but the universe will be at work. Okay? So if you, again, niggas be the ones who don't be caring, and I'll be the first to tell you, when somebody else fuck your bitch, you ain't gonna like that. You ain't gonna like it. So all I'm saying is, think about that. And that should be a red flag. Like, especially for women, because women think that when they cheat with a nigga, if he break up with his bitch, he gonna be with you. That's not always the case. And why would you want to be with somebody who cheat on their girlfriend? You don't think he gonna do it to you? Like, make that make sense. Like, baby, if he cheated on her, he's bound to cheat on your ass. Okay? So some people don't put two and two together. Like, that shit is bad juju. Put out what you want to receive back. I'm not cheating with no nigga. At least openly, because I'll tell you one thing. I was in a situation where I had a nigga tell me, you know, him and his girl, they had been together for a while, and they had broke up, but they may be trying to, you know, work on shit. They was kind of dating, so he was technically single. Be careful about motherfuckers in these technicalities, okay? Because you know what happened? I got involved with that motherfucker, and it ain't work out. I knew that it was a chance that it wasn't gonna work out, so I wasn't as hurt as somebody else who had full hope, you know, would have been. And that nigga went and married that girl. Congrats to them. But it taught me a valuable lesson that when motherfuckers is on breaks, because that's another technicality people love to pull out. Well, we was on a break. Don't fuck with no nigga on no break. Okay? He gonna get back with her and you gonna feel shitty. Don't do it. Because sometimes that's just as close to cheating, because you know, as soon as motherfuckers come, I don't believe in breaks nowhere, but I done heard about motherfuckers who do. And as soon as they get back together, so what was you doing when we was on the break? Yeah, them conversations happen. No thank you. So yes, I'm getting ready to wrap this up. I really want people to understand that monogamy is not the only way to be in a relationship. It is okay to not want to be committed to just one person for the rest of your life, but be honest with yourself about that. Like, don't feel like, oh, I might want to. No, that's a decision you have to be fully, like, ready to make. Stop hurting people in the process while you figuring your shit out. Be single. Like, if you got so much chaos and mess going on in your relationship, that means that it may be time for you to remove yourself and for you to work on you. Two people that are truly meant to be together will be together, even through a breakup. Y'all ever seen people get married and somewhere along in a relationship, things get fucked up? You know, maybe somebody cheated, maybe they didn't, maybe there were other reasons why they broke up, and then years later they get remarried. I love stories like that. Because sometimes it truly does take two people separating, working on themselves individually to realize that they do love each other. They do want to be together. And now they're in a better position to do so. Versus sitting there trying to force puzzle pieces together that don't fit. So I think I love shit like that. Like, if you meant to be with somebody, you gonna be with them. But that don't mean you gotta sacrifice everything in the process to do that. Oh, something else. Don't be out here strong arming people into relationships, because they probably gonna cheat on you. If somebody feels like you're pressuring them to be in a relationship, and then they like, well, they here, they treat me good, why not? That's not them truly being ready to be with you. You deserve more than that, okay? You shouldn't have to pressure somebody to make the decision that they want to commit to you. Let them come to that on their own. Because when you do, they're more inclined to feel like it's still something out there that they missing or that they're not getting, and they're going to cheat. Also, can y'all please remember the very dangerous effects of cheating? I've heard more than once about a nigga bringing chlamydia back to his girl. If y'all gonna cheat, can y'all at least be safe about it? Like, pregnancies outside, like, I don't see how y'all come back from getting STDs and a motherfucker get somebody pregnant on you. I truly don't. Like, it's one thing to fuck with somebody else, but it's another thing to have evidence that you done fucked with somebody else. Like, ladies, value your body more. If a nigga bring you back anything, he needs to be done. Over. Kaput. Finito. I don't know how else to put it. But that is like one of the worst and dirtiest things that you could ever do to somebody. So please take that shit seriously. Please stop letting that shit slide back when you know damn well you wasn't fucking nobody else and they done bought you back something. That is dangerous. Okay? It's dangerous. Touched on this. Know that time in history, it don't mean shit. If you aren't happy anymore, that is a good enough reason to no longer be with that person. Stop being codependent. Realize that you at least have the awareness to know that you're codependent and you don't want to be alone. Because when you have that awareness, at least you can start to work on it. Some of y'all just think that y'all could be alone and, well, I mean, they there. No, because if you knew that, you knew what your true worth was and what you really wanted out of a relationship, you wouldn't stay in these toxic ass situations. And sometimes it ain't even toxic. Sometimes y'all just don't mesh no more. And that's okay. But be honest and upfront about that. And don't be thinking that people don't know when some shit is off. Because we've heard about, like, situations where somebody gets accused of cheating and it's because they the ones cheating. They get the gaslighting, like, I don't know what you talking about. Why was you here with Keisha at 5:55 on a Thursday outside Red Lobster kissing? I don't know who that is. That ain't me. That's gaslighting for anybody that doesn't know. So, yeah, like, it's not worth it. I really hope everybody that participated in that poll learned from their mistakes. You deserve better. You need to be better, okay? And just realize that if you feel the inkling to cheat, the relationship is damn near over with. And if y'all aren't committed to going to therapy and working this shit out, it's still over with. And sometimes people go to therapy and they still decide that they don't want to be together. But that's one of the beauty about therapy, is the therapist will help you get to the point where you realize that, like, yeah, I don't think I want to do this no more. I thought I did, but I don't. And that's okay too. Okay? So that's all I got. I knew this was going to be a long one. I'm sad. Alright? So, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. Don't be a cheater. Don't think that everybody going to cheat on you. Let's start changing some of these narratives, especially in the black community, y'all. We got to start changing this. Like, we don't all have to be cheaters, and we don't all have to get cheated on. We can be in very healthy relationships. They exist. We just have to create them. Okay, pumpkin?